Log on to www.bigcheesemiami.com
in like 10 seconds.
And much more from the official sponsor of University of Miami Athletics. The Big Cheese gives all options for eat-in, takeout, and party platters, in addition to new patio seating, and opens at 4 p.m. on Sunday. The Big Cheese, something for everyone.
Okay, so now.
This is the only song on the album that has like
Hello everyone. You're listening to EKL, Electric Kingdom Live. I'm here with Mystix.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, I'm so happy to have you here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Mystix. I was born and raised here in Miami, Florida. And I produce, I rap, I sing, I make art. You know, I do all the artistic things. And yeah, I'm on here to share my album Tarot.
Can you tell us a little bit about like where you grew up and if that had any impact on the music that you make?
Okay, sure. Yeah, I grew up here in Miami, so I went to school at Coral Way Elementary, right
nearby.
here. Yeah, right here. And I went to Miami Senior High, you know. So I grew up like with my mom was very cultivating in like my art and music, so she always told me just to go for like making art. Like if she heard me playing music at 3 a.m., she'll just let it go and just let me do my thing. And in school, I was very involved with like the chorus and like art clubs and drama. So I loved like just expressing myself. So like with Miami High, they had like a very good like program for film. So I had like a lot of opportunities to like to use different cameras to like film videos of my music, and like the teacher was always like, oh, let's do like this music project. So he would also be really encouraging. So I was just like around a lot of encouraging people.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your new current album and like what it entails, like what style is it and all that.
Okay, well, my new album Tarot, I produced it all on MPC Live, which was a lot of fun. And I used different like outboard instruments like the ST305 and like the TR-08 and also different stuff. So I created this album. It was inspired on wanting to make something that just made me feel good, because I always remembered like old music that was very inspiring to me, like the Venga Boys and like techno that was like to party, just very like just uppity stuff. So I wanted to make something like similar to that, but my vibes. So that's what really inspired me like to go for like making tarot.
And how would you describe the music that you make?
The music that I make, I'm a little bit of like everywhere, because I started in a punk band, so I jumped from punk to rap, and then I started wanting to produce my own beats, because I was dipping my feet in like Ableton and doing different remixes of songs and stuff, and that's kind of like what made me like want to do like just different stuff. So I did like rap, and then like my production, I like go towards like more electronic music. So I really like the Voca New Bass. That's what's like a prominent instrument in this album. So I would say like it's kind of like electronic experimental in the way that the vocals are very different compared to like what I used to do, which is what I do usually is mostly rap and sing R&B and stuff. So like I would say, yeah, experimental techno.
And what would you say is your ideal producing environment? Like what synths, drum machines would you have?
Oh, okay, that's like a crazy question for me because I'm always like picking up different things.
I know.
So like when I first started, I would use just like the vocas. So like for the few songs that we're just playing right now, I used the voca sample, the voca bass, the voca beats. But for this album, I like went with their new voca, which is the voca new bass, which has like an amazing sound, like an acid bass, just crazy in your ear sound. Yeah, so I used that. So ideally, I would have like that. I love the new bass, but I also would want to go and like get some of Roland's boutiques because they have like some good bass as well, and the SH01A is crazy, like keyboard, synthesizer, and let's see what else. I do like the K oscillator from Korg. It's one of my favorite little effect pads. But yeah, I would have a lot of different things, to be honest. I'd just go crazy if I could just have anything. A Juno synth for sure. It has beautiful sounds.
Nice. And what's your perspective on blending vocals with electronic music in the style that you do?
Well, when I was younger, my mother was like always going to different, like going to Club Space all the time, and she would be like, I love the jungle music and like with all the sounds, and she would just describe to me the different like rooms of space, like back in like the 90s and the 2000s. Whoa. And I would always think of like, oh, are they playing like this song? And she'd be like, oh, well, I have friends that are DJs, I'll bring you like mixes. And that's kind of like for me when I thought of like some of the songs that she sent me, the ones that had like the prominent vocal really like stood out to me. So like Castles in the Sky, you know what I mean?
Yes, I love that song.
Yeah, and like I wanted to make music that was similar to that, but like with my mix of like different like inspirations, like Grace Jones or like Bjork, you know what I mean? So I wanted to just have like a blend of like a techno break, but also with like some mesmerizing vocals on top.
That's sick. And I know you do sound healing as well. That's your show on MCR. So tell us like a little bit about that and how you got into that.
Oh, well, I've always really been into like stones and healing. I was always really attracted just having stones around me as a child. And
we have a stone right now. What stone is it?
Oh, rose quartz, and we also have amethyst here as well. Yes. So I always was really into that. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
The sound healing.
Oh, the sound healing? Okay,
yes.
Cool. So I had crystal bowls, and I always thought of doing sound healing because I'm part of like a group. And our group, they are always asking me, hey, you're a musician, can you like make some sound healing? And I've always just messed around with my vocas and like played with my singing bowls for fun, as well as for this last album that you guys heard some of the songs from on Angel Numbers, I used the singing bowl. So it kind of stemmed out of that. I wanted to make more of that, but also something that could give back to people, like a meditative like vibe, you know what I mean? So I came up with the idea because I really wanted just to give something back, like how I said. So I started first with just doing everything improvised, and then I decided, okay, well, I like this improvised sound healing show where I'm playing different synthesizers with the singing bowls and different healing instruments, but I want to add more meditative like scripts so people can, you know, meditate and really like get in their zone and like think about, you know, themselves, or the affirmation, the meditations where I'm like telling people to think about, you know, loving themselves and think about all these thoughts that sometimes you may not have the time for. And, you know, when you really think about it, it's very important to like think about what you want to do and, you know, allowing yourself to just expose like your thoughts in a intimate way. So that's kind of what led me into making that program, and oh my god, it was so awesome. It's all just so amazing.
No, that was a great season, like last season, and then also in the beginning too. Like you had videos outside, Those are my favorite.
In the outdoor streams, yeah, I would try to go to like really Miami, like Everglades style vibe, and it was just fun filming that with the vinyls outside. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a new thing with a table. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, I did have to like lug a big bag to like take all those things with me, but in the end, it was worth it because those videos are really something else.
Yeah, you can look back at them and just be like, wow, look at this time. So anyways, what aspect of being an artist do you enjoy the most? And like, also, do you have like you're a musician, but do you have like any other hobbies too?
I've always enjoyed, for being an artist, like I've always enjoyed being able to express myself in any way, shape, or form, for any feeling that I have, and also make things that sound like what I feel. So that's the aspect I love the most, because I'm able to produce something that I can go back and listen to and remember this feeling, or inside a feeling of happiness, or just being excited. So that's my favorite thing about being an artist. What was the other thing that you asked?
Do you have any other endeavors, like any other like hobbies that you're into, or anything else?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies. I went to school for fine arts, so I love painting and drawing. So when I have extra time, or whenever I'm coming up with like a new idea, I'll draw and paint some of my like artwork. Usually I like getting other artists as well too, but I definitely like to like express myself in my artwork. And I also, I love vintage things, vintage cars, like old ads of like Sears and stuff, like old style. So like that's one of my hobbies that I have. I have a show called Vintage Cruise in USA, where I have like 3 seasons out on YouTube, and we go like to different places, and like I'm also sometimes fixing my car, or like telling a scary story from back in the day, just cool like vintage things.
Nice. Yeah, your car is sick, by the way.
Thank you.
It's so cute. So vintage.
84.
Yeah, it's from 84?
Yeah.
Wow, it's still running. Look at that. Do you ever plan on collabing with different artists in Miami here in the future?
Definitely.
Or working on different projects and stuff?
Heck yeah. My last album, Anomaly, I had like 7 or 8 different artists from here in Miami featured on them. Female artists, like just a lot. It's really cool. And my next albums that I'm planning, I'm going to do a duo album with somebody who's not from here. She's from Nashville. But I'm also planning on doing a lot of different collabs with different artists. I'm always sending over like instrumentals to like different instrumentalists. Like right now I'm going to send something to a guy who plays guitar, so he can add like a guitar track to it. And for this album Tarot, I collabed with Goon Green Phillip. He did.
Shout out Phil.
Shout out to Phil.
Old GM.
Yeah, he played the cello on the song The Empress. It was so beautiful. So happy that he was able to do that for me. But yeah, I do plan to like reach out, and whoever wants like to reach out to me, to collab, I'm always open to new collabs.
And how have you enjoyed performing at these different like local venues? For example, Phil, like his house shows. Like, what are your thoughts on like the community and everything?
Well, since I've been in the music scene for quite a long time, I've never seen like a place where it's so like inviting and nice, like the house show. I've always had like such a great time there, and like usually like back in the day there would be like some hole in the wall like things where people are really supportive, but like the house show is just a whole different vibe with all the different vendors that are just coming out, and like just different people coming out to see them, and music. Like it's just a amazing vibe every time I perform there, or I've also painted there. There's great food. House show is just the best.
Let's go house show. Yeah, I remember like they also like it was one of the first few the few times in the beginning when I started DJing for in front of people, it was at the house shows, and I felt like it really shaped me as a person, just being able to feel so supported.
I love that about the house show too, is that Phil like goes out of his way to get people who are like wanting to like do something new and like express themselves in whatever type of music they want to do, or whatever art piece.
There's no like strict guideline to follow, like a lot of Miami nightlife, or just like venues in Miami in general.
Yeah, and then there's also the open mics that they have sometimes, which is pretty cool, because then I see like different people coming in saying, oh, I just came here for the open mic, but I saw this really cool artist and I see you painting, it's awesome, and I'm like, yes. Cool.
Do you have any memorable experience, either like producing in the studio or like or performing, like any like performance that you like really remember and that you like have enjoyed?
My favorite performances would be the ones where I did like duo sets with Traumatized, because he would go all out on these shows, like so crazy. And like Grand Central, like different shows that were just like huge. I did my biggest shows with him, so like there would always be like big crowds and people really like interactive. And I remember there was this one show where like there was a break and like the music, like we just put like different music and everybody was just like vibing out, and we were like interacting with the crowd personally. Like I really enjoyed like those shows the best.
Would you? So I guess like I really want to know like what your experience has been like so far in Miami, like in general. Yeah.
In general, okay.
Like being an artist here, like any thoughts on that?
Well, in Miami, like I feel that there are a lot of people here that are very important. So sometimes a lot of artists get overlooked. And like some of them just quit making music.
It's very hard to like,
It is really hard, and then like there's specific like circles that if you can't get in, then you're not able to get like a certain like performance set of places you can go to. So a lot of the times like now I have people around me that really like try to help me out and find me like gigs and stuff. But before I felt like it was harder to like get my music heard on a serious level where people can be like, okay, well, I want to book you to this festival. You know what I mean? It was harder a lot of the time. And like now, it's just more open with social media, like becoming like blooming, because like 5-6 years ago, like Instagram wasn't as active as it is, and other like social media sites.
Real, yeah.
So definitely like now it's a lot more fun, like reaching out and finding these new places to like interact with and like see if they give my music a shot.
And do you have anything in store for the future? Any projects? You don't have to spill everything, but like.
Yeah, I have like let's see, I have 3 more projects for this year to release, and I'm really excited. I have like 2 dual projects, an instrumental album. And I'm always working on new music. I produce for other artists as well, so I have other artists that are working on projects with my instrumentals. And yeah, I'm really excited. I don't want to, spill the beans in the next project yet, because Tarot is still out. But I'm always making new things and experimenting with new sounds.
Cool. So in a little bit we'll be listening to some tracks. So tell us about the tracks that we're gonna listen to.
Alrighty, so Tarot is an album, like a concept album I came up with like 2 or 3 years ago, where I drew a whole bunch of tarot cards, and I was like, I want to do something with this, put it away. So I started like producing different sounds, and all of a sudden I had like 30 songs, and I'm like, okay, well, let me pick a few of these songs to create this tarot album. So I put it all together, and most of all these tracks, I have it all filmed. So I filmed everything, and like I could hear like what I started like with the first idea to like what it became, and it's just so awesome. And yeah, I wanted to do something based on the album Tarot, because I've had other albums like Bruja, where I had every song that was named after a stone, like rose quartz, amethyst, obsidian, and all the songs actually like correlated to the meaning of the stone. So I like to like keep my ideas for my songs, my projects, like close like that, like just like have a whole concept for it. So I picked these songs that I produced, and I decided to write like very simple melodic thoughts that I could sing to it, and that's kind of like what it started with, and it became like what it is now, tarot. And I love all the songs so much. I use like very different sounds in some of them. Like I use like a Casio calculator, you know, and just like different things. And yeah, I just wanted to express myself, how I felt like music wise, where I wanted to be like in the techno realm with this album.
Like the alternative, like electronic.
Yeah,
realm.
like experimental electronic.
Experimental, definitely. Do you want to shout out anyone? Anything else like you want to add?
Yeah, for sure. I want to shout out Traumatized, always filming, always doing his thing, making crazy tracks. I want to shout out Phil. I want to shout out Steffi. Shout out Casacrea. Shout out Miami Community Radio. Shout out WVUM 90.5. Shout out to my mom.
Always.
And I just want to say, as a child I always wanted to like sing and like do music, and I would always like have like this karaoke box where I would like sing all my favorite artists' songs, and I would even sing the songs that I didn't like. I would just sing all the songs. And I'm really happy that I stayed with like the want to like do my music, because if I would have lost it, I would have never made everything that I made now.
Wow, that's powerful. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm really excited to hear the album. I'm excited to like jam out here with you.
Sweet.
Also, definitely, yeah, the videos of Mystix on Miami Community Radio are on YouTube, so yeah, I'll leave you with that.
For sure.
This is EKL, and this is your host, SDRV. Keep listening for some amazing, amazing tunes. Keep it locked. Ask people questions like randomly throughout the show.
Sweet. Yeah. For sure, I'm
Any like fun facts? I love that. Mystix, I wanted to ask you a question. Who are some of your favorite artists?
Okay, I have a lot of favorite artists, but some of my favorites are like Freeze Pop. They're like an electro pop band. Robots in Disguise was like a French duo, electro pop duo. Björk, Yale, she is French pop. Portishead, The Blow, Polystyrene. I do like, what else? I like Poison Clan. I like Traumatized. I like DMX. R.I.P. DMX. Yeah, I have a lot of favorites.
Nice. If you guys are listening and wanna talk to us, you can text us or call us at 786-309-8861. I guess if you heard any of your favorite artists from what Mystix said, let me know. Like, text in. Right, back to the music. I love the vibe tonight. It's so mystical.
Oh, I feel like I'm in that, like, you know, the YouTube girl, and she's always like doing her homework. So I feel like this is that, but at peak level.
Hey, yeah. Chill beats chick.
Oh, I remember you playing this at the, you were singing this at the.
There's a song that Phil has a cello solo in.
Oh, really? Oh, shoot.
At the T.
Must be daydreaming, you must be daydreaming, you must be daydreaming. It's so obvious you're blown. You must be lucid dreaming, cause you look like you're believing.
Another question, so I'll ask you.
Cool. The song is ending right now.
Hello, everyone.
Yo, yo, yo.
So that was Tarot. Do you have like anything you want to say about the album?
For sure. So just listening back to the album again, because I listen to this album almost every day. I just feel like all the different like experiences that I had creating every song, and how I was like so excited to get my hands on like the next like sound I was gonna put on the next song, and like what kind of vocals I want to lay down. It makes me feel so like, I guess, reminiscent of the moments that I made those songs, like, and yeah.
Was there any song or like album or any experience that was difficult for you, or like have you ever had like you know, like writer's block, but like musician's block?
I guess usually when that doesn't happen to me often, but usually when I'm about to feel kind of like fatigued from making so much music, I just stop, and then I start like trying out a different genre, like making different drum patterns, like or like being like, okay, I'm a drummer now, I'm gonna learn these new patterns and see what I can do, and like see if that'll like inspire me to make something new, and you know, like just take me out of like this fatigued little rut that I sometimes get in.
Nice. And do you have a favorite song on the album?
Yes, I have two favorite songs. Okay, my two favorite songs are Tarot and Arcana. I love them so much because they were the last songs that I made on this album before I released it. So, like, instrumental wise, they're more on the type of vibe that I'm on now, very like up-tempo, fun, like with some mysterious spark of like sounds and stuff. And yeah, they always make me really happy and want to like jump up and like dance.
Cool, yeah. So we're gonna be listening to another album, and which album is this?
It's called Angel Numbers. I released it in 2019 or 18, and it's all composed with hardware, synths, and drum machines. So it was like my first like debut as like a new producer using hardware, synths, and just my experimentation with that.
Cool. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Keep listening. How's everyone feeling? Hope you're vibing as hard as we are right now. Yeah, any thoughts? How do you feel? I know like we're like behind the scenes, we're describing the scenes, like what these songs make us feel and like what we visualize when we hear them. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, I think that's funny.
Yeah, definitely. This last song, it reminds me of like a Japanese market. Like, I don't know, like a video game, like what it would be playing and stuff. Kind of like Pokemon, I don't know. But definitely just vibes. Angel Numbers was really fun to make. I enjoyed like using all these new different synths because I was just getting into using hardware. So the album was meant to be like an easy listening, meditative, like workout, yoga. I have a friend who has a yoga studio in California, and she loves playing like Angel Numbers sometimes for her students when they're stretching. So like that's literally what I made it for, just easy listening type style.
Do you have any advice for any upcoming musicians?
Definitely, always. Let's see. Usually, becoming a musician or like claiming that you're a musician is such like a big step. Like for me, it was, and it like what I usually tell most of my friends who are like, oh, I'm thinking about becoming a musician, is like don't let like the little things stop you. Because like just because like it doesn't sound completely perfect like doesn't mean that you just trash it, because a lot of the time like you'll look back at whatever it is that you made and you're gonna like enjoy it. You're gonna be like, I love this, like this was amazing for like the time period that I made, and I'm glad that I made it and released it. So I always think that you should share like even these songs that you might not like the most with other people. That's like the advice that I would always like say. Just always do what you feel.
That's really great advice. Thank you. What do you think is the best thing about like making music with like synths and drum, like live performances?
For me, how I've like kind of put myself in the groove of making things, I usually like my whole creation process is kind of like a performance for me, because I film everything when it comes to like creating new songs. So I also release them. So people give me feedback. They're like, oh, this is dope. I love that, like that idea you had there, you know, and like that feedback really I enjoy it, because like I get to see like how people real time are like experiencing my music that I'm creating. So yeah, working with hardware is just like a lot more enjoyable than working with software for me, because I get to like, you know, I had piano class when I was younger and I was in band, so I learned how to do a lot of different type of like playing different instruments like the marimba or the bass drum. I played the gong. So I just love to like think about like, okay, I'm gonna use this instrument and make this crazy bass sound, or I'm gonna make this sequence and do like this keyboard pattern, or I'm gonna pick up this synth that isn't really a synth and like see what sounds I can use. And like in this album Tarot, I used an omnichord called the Rose Petal Place, and it does not have an output, so I used like a vintage Philips like mic, and I just put it like face down on the omnichord speaker and I played it. And omnichord is basically a chord, it's like a harp, okay, but it's electric. So it plays chords like a harp, and you just put your finger. So I played the song. I can't remember the name of the song right now, but one of the songs on my album, I used the omnichord, and like just doing things like that, it just makes me really more intrigued with the whole process of creating. Whereas like on software, I do feel sometimes a little limited because I'm like, okay, well I have these sounds here, and this is what I'm doing on here. Whereas like I could get a keyboard and just bust out like just some keyboard skills,
True. Very true. It adds another element. Like you're like if you're just doing it straight from a computer without like anything, like how are you like truly connected? Like it's like the physical like thing of like moving every knob and like adjusting it, like tweaking it, like everything. I don't know, it's just so fun. It's like
it is
playing
a lot
a
of
game,
fun.
honestly.
Actually, one of the songs that I'm releasing with the Miami Community Radio with a compilation that they're going to be putting out very soon.
I'm so excited.
Me too, I'm so excited. It's called Why, and I did produce that all on Ableton, and I did have fun doing it. I produced it in the DJ mode of Ableton, not the actual like producer mode. So it was like very odd how I did that. Like I pressed play on certain tracks that I made and then paused them and did it like that. But that song also has a video out where I contacted a whole bunch of different like people from all over the world, and I said, send me videos of you doing whatever you want to do. And they sent me different videos, and I put it out a couple of years ago. It was a vibe. It was a vibe, definitely. There was people hula hooping, doing different synchronized dancing, burning money, just random stuff in the video.
I can't wait to see it. That's gonna be sick. So, we still have a few more tracks on this album, right?
On Angel Numbers, yes, we do.
Okay, cool. So we'll play those right now. And thank you again for listening. Keep it locked.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought it was over.
There's like 10 seconds.
Oh my god.
Okay, this is the end.
Wow, that was ethereal.
Thank you.
So I have another question for you. Before we say goodbye, how do you think your music has, like, from when you first started until now, like, how have you progressed as an artist, or like any like changes or anything like that?
It's been like a long journey for me since I started with a punk band back in the days, performing at churches, and then like going through punk to like making rap and R&B songs. So it's been a real journey. I didn't really expect to end up where I'm at right now, since I was just the lead singer of a punk band, But I had like so many different experiences in life that made me, like, molded me to like be ready to like produce and like make my own music, that it was only natural to like transcend into that. But for me, it's been really interesting, just learning new instruments and exploring different soundscapes and ways that I can manipulate sound to just sound how I want in my brain. And I'm just totally excited to create more things and like experiment with not only like sound but also visuals and like create different stories with these sounds.
Yeah. I really love the videos that are on your Instagram of like the process of you like creating your music and everything. And I definitely do agree with like having visuals is like such a powerful tool to add to music. It just makes it just like brings it brings like the vision that you wanted in the song, but now it's just like
Definitely.
visually.
I love to show like always like on my Instagram like the behind the scenes process and what's going on like at the shows, and show you like the vibe, because a lot of the time I see like the performances of like the people, like the artists, but then I don't see like the actual vibe of like where they went, and I don't get to feel like like I'm there. So that's kind of the feeling that I always want to like put into my videos when I release them, that like you can feel like you actually went there and you experienced like going out to, whether it's like Technique Records or Grams or wherever I'm at, you know.
Okay, well, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming again. And do you have any last words, last shout outs or anything?
Last words. Well, I'm so glad to share this music with more people. I'm always like excited to like bring out something new and pop out some like new sounds. And it's a pleasure being able to be interviewed by you on WVUM, on EKFM. This is my second time being aired on here. The first one was when Angel Numbers was released, and
that was with Alec, right?
Yes, I believe so. And it was very exciting, putting that out. So it's only natural that my second, like self-produced album will be on here. So thank you so much for like the opportunity. And also I want to shout out to like everybody in the Miami scene, every single artist that's trying to do their thing. Just keep on doing you, and keep on following that like path that you made for yourself, because it's the most important thing. Mystix out.
SDRV out. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next Thursday. Keep it locked.
This thing is making like a ghostly sound. It's like, this, yeah.
I know.
It's cute.
Yeah, I know. Definitely for the interviews, I usually keep it off, but it was already on, so I'm like, oh, whatever. No, it has like the